Hello, good day. I am Dr. Mrs. Jacinta Chioma Otuchukwu. Today I'm going to lecture you on how you go about your projects. So this presentation is titled Professional Guideline for CS Undergraduate Project Supervision. So you are going to know what is your responsibility and what is the responsibility of your supervisors. So let's first of all start with supervisor responsibilities. It is the duty of the supervisor and the student to dialogue on project selection. Supervisors should help students narrow down or adjust their proposal topic in a way that align with their interests, skills, and academic background. For example, a student skilled in machine learning may be guided to choose a project related to AI rather than a hardware-based project. The goal is to set the student off for success by playing to their strengths. So the supervisor needs to ensure relevancy and feasibility. The topic chosen must be within the field of computer science and can be executed within the limited the duration of the project, looking at project that's be able to finish within the timeline. The supervisor must only approve proposals that are well written and have clearly defined objective and demonstrate the originality of the work. The problem statement should be clearly stated. So the supervisor should also outline a clear plan or timeline for the supervision. The roadmap must include stages. There is topic approval, literature review, methodology, how the data is being collected, and how the implementation process will take place. And it's the duty of the supervisor to also maintain consistent communication and offer constructive feedback. The supervisor should read thoroughly the student's work and be able to guide where necessary. Supervisors should also instruct students on how to properly design their research. The supervisor should review and assess the student properly. In the development process, the supervisor should also look at or teach the students on how to write the research properly, introduce them in the use of a Google Scholar, looking for empirical papers that already been published in good journals, so that they will be able to uh, look for gap and document what other people have done and also learn how they will also present their research. This is the duty of the supervisors to make sure that the student learns academic writing and adhere to proper references. The supervisor can also introduce the student to different tools they can use to arrange their references properly. The supervisor should also encourage the student to prepare a good write-up that can be presented in a conference or published in good journals. So the students will also be involved in topic selection. The topic should be in line with what the student actually would like to do. The student can also be allowed to present what they have in mind and dialogue with the supervisor. The students should be also given freedom to give their own topic, which the supervisor has the right to adjust to suit topics that are in line with computer science or the state of the art or current problems related to the chosen field. The structure, the supervisor and the students will look into the proposal structure. The supervisor can guide the student on the structure of the proposal, and when the student presents the proposal, it's the duty of the supervisor to also read to see whether the statement of problem is well stated and the objective aligned properly. And when they agree on a certain topic, the student will register the topic to the supervisor and the coordinator. It is the duty of the student to critically research and write his reports and present regularly to the supervisor to check up whether he's in line with a proper writing style. The student should also meet deadlines. The days you're supposed to meet the supervisor, you should make sure that you should report to the supervisor so that you will not be going offline or off point, because when the supervisor is guiding you properly, it will help you to reduce the time you spend in writing what is not in line with what is required. So regular meetings are very, very, very necessary and very, very important for the student to do the right thing. The student should take care of the presentation. At every point in time, the student can present what he or she has done to the supervisor. It is also the duty of the student to prepare very well for the final presentation. There is also penalties for non-adherence to the meetings. Students who regularly miss meetings should have a penalty, and this penalty is decided by the supervisor, the coordinator, and the department uh, board. The missing deadlines. If students consistently miss deadline, the project can be rejected or redone. When students are not willing to uh, reflect or correct the corrections made by the supervisor, there is also penalties for that. More especially, plagiarism should be an important uh, students should be able to avoid plagiarism. It is an important offense in academic writing. So the students should be able to avoid plagiarism, and the supervisor should guide the students on the proper ways to avoid plagiarism. So if there is any uh, disrespect, or in any way the students try to disrespect the supervisor, maybe trying to do his own things in his own way, there should be official warning from the department and the board on that note. If a student did not register the topic, they think the defense should be rescheduled with a penalty. It is only registered student that register topic that will be allowed to defend. So poor defense should also be rescheduled with penalty. So the process of project writing and supervision is the duty of it is the duty of the supervisor to guide the students, and it's the duty of the student to research and do proper research writing, starting from the topic selection, research of topic, approval of topic, literature review. There should be thorough review. The supervisor, in the situation where the student is not doing the work properly, the supervisor can also mentor or do a brief lecture to the student on how to do this work. In methodology, the students should be able to be guided on the appropriate methodology. The student and the supervisor should do a lot of work to make sure that the methodology, the process of doing the work is properly reported and is in line with the student's stated objective. There should be also proper data collection. The architecture of the study should be also be in line. The student should be able to uh, give a proper architecture of existing system and of proposed system. So during the development stage, the supervisor should also monitor what the students are doing, and the students should also uh, constantly visit the supervisor to show what he or she is doing. So the proper report or the final report should be properly reviewed by the supervisor and approved where necessary. So let's look at the best practices for supervision. There should be the set clear expectation early. The supervisor should state clearly the expectation from the students, and the students should adhere to such expectation. There should be regular meeting and checking. The supervisor should encourage independent work so that students will learn how to work independently. And each supervisor should always check the work using pre-existing checker or AI detector. That's why soft copy acceptance is necessary so that you're able to key in the soft report presented to any AI tool or plagiarism tool that will enable you guide the student properly, and also recommend some readings. The supervisor can recommend students to some readings, journals, papers that are in line. It's not wrong for supervisors to tell you, say, okay, read this work. Look at this work. Let's see if you can enhance the problem or the suggestion for further study from this work uh, to help the students do proper work. So important notes, supervisor assessment or assignment. Supervisor assignment is very, very binding. So no student should go out of the assignment that has been agreed by the supervisor, and the students should not be, because of laziness, leave on no conditions to the student uh, go outside supervisor's official assignment. Change of supervisor is not allowed except with HOD approval where necessary, and must include reading document justification and cover letter as a proof or reason why the student need to change supervisor. So for project format, we have an agreed format by the department that the student and the supervisor should adhere to. So the student and the supervisor should access this link to follow this format. This is the agreed format. We might not have time to review it here, but the supervisor and the student should work properly to align with this general formats. The contents of the each of the chapters should be properly supervised and scrutinized by the supervisor to make sure that we map everything we are doing to these formats. Um, Thank you for listening.